What's up, guys? Galaxy's Greatest here. Austin Peffer alongside a huge group this week.
Yeah.
We have Shane DeVoe. Returning this week, we have the impregnable Galaxy heavyweight champion, Nico.
Impregnable.
We have Fisher. And we've got big old D, Daniel.
What's up?
All right, guys. We've had our first week of football. Interesting results. And now it's on the week 2. Yeah. In the Pigskin Pick'em right now, we have a 3-way tie in first place with 10 wins, 5 defeats, and 1 tie. It's myself and 2 other people. One's name's like Blue Stars something, the other's like Moonlight Sonata. I'm pretty sure I got it right. Something like that. I'm too busy to check. I'm not really busy. Let's just move on. First game of the week, Shane DeVoe, you want to bring up the games here?
Sure.
But the Thursday night game is the Baltimore Ravens at the Cincinnati Bengals. Shane, make the first pick here.
I'm going with the Ravens to win this one.
All right.
Like I said last week on our video, I predicted the Ravens to win 46-0 on the Bills. I was close.
You were really close.
I should have bet money on that. I think it's going to be another display by the Ravens defense, proving that they are arguably probably the top 5 defense in this league as of right now. I think they're going to win big on this one.
All right. Nico.
It's a toss-up for me, but I'm going to go with the Ravens as well because of that high-powered defense. And Joe Flacco don't look too bad right now. So
Yeah, he's got a lot of motivation. Fisher?
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens too. Now I just know because 3 of us chose him, someone's going to go to the other side. So we'll see. But I know Joe Flacco is looking pretty good in the defense. So it's looking really good.
Daniel.
I'm also going the Ravens. Yeah,
Clean
that
sweep.
defense is too good, and Joe Flacco, if he keeps playing like this, they probably would win the division.
The way the Ben's playing, I have no doubt.
I'm back and forth as well. I'm going to go Baltimore. I think you guys pretty much described it. They're the better team. They have a major chip on their shoulder. They want to get revenge on Cincy for knocking them out of the playoffs last year. I'm going to say Baltimore gets it.
Okay.
All right. Our next game, we have the Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons. Nico.
Oof. All right, so I took the Falcons to bounce back this week.
All right.
Matt Ryan struggled a little bit the first half. Last week he started picking back up in the second half, but that Eagles defense was a little too powerful for him.
Mm-hmm.
But this week they're not facing as tough of a defense. So
Still pretty tough
still a good
though.
defense, but
Fisher?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Atlanta just because.
and Greg Olson's out too.
Yeah, I was going to say that Greg Olson's out. Kuechly's hurt. He's done something with his leg.
Yeah, I don't know what the extent is as of now.
But yeah, I think the Cowboys did a toll on them. But
No, they didn't. They lost.
we did a toll on them defensive wise, but we didn't win the game. So yeah, I'm gonna go Atlanta. Excuse me.
You're excused. Daniel.
I'm going with the Panthers.
All right.
I want to be different. And I think, honestly, at the end of the day, the Panthers have the better team. Like, listen.
Oh, come
Listen.
on.
Atlanta's
I
favorites
think-
to win the Super Bowl.
I
Come on.
think Cam Newton, Christian
Panthers
McCaffrey,
here.
Eagles,
and DJ, what's that guy's name? The guy from Maryland, the new wide receiver. I think they're going to come together.
Oh,
I think they're gonna
oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
DJ Moore?
Yeah, DJ Moore. I think they're going to come together, and I think they're going to beat the Falcons. It's going to be close, but I think they're going to beat the Falcons.
All right. I'm going to go Atlanta. I think they bounce back. Plain and simple. Shane?
I'm agreeing with Dan.
Oh!
But not the way that you said. I think the first week it proved that Cam Newton is somewhat back to the way he was when he was MVP,
Okay.
making reads. I believe he's going to do it again. Again, this is a harder defense to play against, although they don't have
Keanu
Deion
Neal?
Jones and out. Keanu, I think his name is.
Yeah, Keanu Neal has
Yeah,
a
Keanu Neal, he's out for the season.
That's a major loss for him, and it's been proven that if you could run on this team and pass the ball, you are able to beat this team. So that's why I'm going with the Panthers.
Patriots.
All right. Our next game, we have...
Sir,
You
Shane
put,
DeVoe.
you put the phone away. We're all behind now. Chargers at the Bills. Fisher, make your decision.
I'm gonna have to say. I'm gonna say Chargers.
All
Because
right.
you know the Bills just got their handed to them, so yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Chargers.
Daniel?
Chargers. Bills are trash. Sorry.
Well,
That's it.
it's not determined who will be the starting quarterback for the Bills. Either way, they stink. Chargers, they get off to a slow start, but I'm gonna give them this win, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Bills just got a surprise. Shane?
I am going with the Chargers on this one. Again, I still believe, like I told you, if Josh Allen would have started, he at least could have got 20 points on the Ravens, the way he is, leg-wise and arm-wise. But I think the Chargers bounced back. They got their, let's say, asses beat by the Chiefs. No one expected that out of a second-year Pat Mahomes. But I think Philip Rivers bounced back this week.
All right. Nico?
Sandy.
Oh no!
I'm still picking the Chargers. One, they have a better team. Two, their receiving core is outstanding. They still put up 28 points on the Chiefs. And the game, what Philip Rivers said, the game should have came down to 8 points because they missed, or did they miss that field goal, or they got knocked out of field goal range in the fourth when Philip Rivers said he had a couple bad reads that he didn't feel like he should have made. So they'll bounce back this week and hand it to him.
Alrighty.
Especially the Bills, trash. Even I think though Josh Allen does play, they'll score a few points.
All right. So we're gonna move on to the still winless but currently undefeated Cleveland Browns going to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Daniel?
I think the Saints bounced back this week. I know they had a really tough loss against the Buccaneers, but the Browns, they're young. They're still developing their team while the Saints have Drew Brees and like Mike Thomas and like they have all these pieces that they can bounce back this week and win.
I'm also going Saints. They're not going to score as much as they did on Tampa because Browns defense is legit, but until the Browns prove to me that they can win, I think the Browns defense is really good.
We'll see this
But
week.
until the Browns can prove to me that they can win, because the Steelers handed them that game more than once, and they still couldn't even win. They had to tie. I have to go with the Saints.
I have to go with the Saints as well. I agree in some aspects that, like you said, the Browns defense is not legit. I don't think they're fully legit yet. They still have to develop that winning culture because, let's be honest, they don't know what winning is. 1 in 31 tries. They haven't won at all. I don't think they're going to win this one. I think Drew Brees is going to put up at least 30 on this team and put it down the throats with Alvin Kamara just running down the field.
All right.
I am going to disagree. I'm going to take the Browns. I'm kidding. I'm going to take the Saints, obviously. These are my Super Bowl pick to win the Super Bowl this year. I do feel like the Saints, if
Not
they
a
don't
bad
win this
pick.
year,
Rams.
they opt into. I think the Rams have the best team in the league, but I think the Saints could possibly pull an upset in like the NFC Championship if they comes down to it.
Fisher?
Saints, obviously. Just down to it. Better team, more veteran players. Just
All right, we're now going to move on to the Vikings at the Packers. Oh, this is a very hard game for me to pick. I'm honestly going to go back and forth with this one. I'm probably going to have my pick changed by time Sunday comes. It's very possible. As of now, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go Packers. Screw it.
Screw it. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers. What a guy.
Well,
Don't
also
call it a
Packers.
comeback.
Screw it. Packers. What a guy. Okay.
Don't call it a
Um,
comeback.
back, just so you know.
I would have to go with the Vikings on this one. It was a bit of, I won't say a fluke, but it was a bit of a situation where the Chicago Bears technically should have beat the Packers. The
They
way that,
probably
the way that
should.
Khalil Mack was playing like a monster, he should have beaten them
If he played
by
full
himself.
time, if he was ready to play full time, I don't think the Packers would have won that game.
Exactly. But let's be honest, this Minnesota team has their quarterback now after week 1. They found the quarterback that they've been looking for. Their defense is great. Their offense is now great with now Dalvin Cook back and all these players coming together to try and win a Super Bowl. I just think it's going to be a very close game, but I think the Vikings come out on top.
All right, Nico.
I am also undecided as of now, leaning towards the Packers, but I'm going to take the Vikings for this one.
Okay.
It's plain and simple. Aaron Rodgers looks a little shaky after his injury, still coming off of his shoulder and his collarbone.
He was a little bit high on his happy drugs after the game.
Yeah, he wasn't he's still a little needs time. Obviously, it's Aaron Rodgers, NFL MVP, Super Bowl champion. So that's a close one, but I believe Kirk Cousins can pull through and get them the win.
Fisher?
I'm gonna have to go with Green Bay. I think Green Bay has a good chance because Aaron Rodgers, he got his warm up in last week, and obviously he came back. Even if people don't want to call it a comeback, but I mean, look at him. He did it against the Cowboys last year. He did it against Bears this year. So it's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna go Green Bay.
All right. Daniel.
Cowboys 2 years.
I'm with Pepper and Nico on this one. I think I'm undecided at the point. It's going to flip-flop back and forth. But right now, at the end of the day, I think the Vikings are the better team because without Aaron Rodgers, like, the Packers are honestly, to me, they're nothing. You know what I mean? But even if
Deshaun
you...
Kaiser, man.
Trash. All right. But if you take out Kirk Cousins, who's their backup? Is it still Hill? Right?
What's that?
Who's the Vikings backup?
I have
No one.
Well,
that's it. That's
yeah,
the
well,
backup.
whoever it
Chase
is,
Daniel.
whoever it is, they can take him out. Like if Kirk Cousins comes out, they put him in. They can still rely on Dalvin Cook and to run it down their throats. And then you have guys like Kyle
Trevor
Rudolph,
Simeon.
Stephen Diggs.
Trevor.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Siemian,
Trevor Simeon did go to the Vikings. Forgot
All right,
about
yeah.
that.
So I think the Vikings are the better team. But like I said, it's gonna flip flop because you never know.
All right. So we now move on to the Houston Texans at the Tennessee Titans. Shane, make your pick.
I think the Houston Texans win this one.
All right.
With the loss of Delaney Walker for the Titans, that's a major
loss.
Questionable Marcus Mariota because he was injured also in the game, and their left tackle.
Taylor Lewan.
There is a lot of bad injuries for this team right now at the start of the season. It's not good. I have the Houston Texans win this one big.
All right. Nico.
I also have the Houston Texans winning this one. One of the best defenses in the league. Just gonna pound the Titans this week. Almost said the Vikings.
Almost pound the Vikings.
They're gonna pound the Titans this week. Mariota doesn't play. There's no chance they're gonna win.
Fisher.
I'm gonna go Titans. I
Ooh.
think they're gonna bounce back from
Okay.
last week.
It's bold.
Yeah, I just feel like they're gonna learn from their mistakes. Watch a lot. Since they got beat, so they're gonna watch all their film again and make sure what they did wrong. So I think they're really gonna bounce back from what they had. But
Except the Texans' play calling is trash, to be honest.
Daniel.
I don't know. I mean, both teams aren't great, but they're not bad either. I think the Texans pull this one out, just because. Deshaun Watson's great. I think he's like one of the best quarterbacks, up and coming quarterbacks in the league. Lamar Miller's running the ball really well, and their defense is just. I think it's back to what it was. So I think the Texans pull this one out.
JJ Swat.
Shane pretty much said all I really needed to say. I'm going Texans. With that said, let's move on. We have the Colts at the Redskins. Nico.
I love Alex Smith. I do love me some Alex Smith. And I also love me some Andrew Luck. 11-5, 11-5, 11-5.
What about some Adrian Pearson?
Not that good.
You don't like
He did have a good game
he
against
did,
the Cardinals, though.
To be fair, it's the Cardinals. They're not the same.
That's true.
They lost their franchise quarterback. They lost their franchise safety. Like, they're not as good anymore.
Sam Bradford was their franchise quarterback?
Well, Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer.
Oh, I thought Josh Rosen was theirs, but okay.
He is.
He will be.
He's the future. Anyway, I'm gonna go with now you got the Colts. Yeah.
Colts.
no. How about no? Redskins, the way they played last week.
Also played a shitty team.
Oh my God, please. They were good. They were looking good. Running the ball, running the game.
I didn't know you were a Redskins fan now.
I'm not a
Fisher.
Redskins fan, but this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to say the Redskins are looking good this year. I think they're going to get third in the division.
Well, that's not
Are
good
you guys
enough.
last then?
With the Giants on last, yeah. Giants last.
I thought the Cowboys would be last.
No, Cowboys gonna
Cowboys
be.
are looking good this year.
I mean, until we fire Jason Garrett.
Yeah, isn't that what
They'll
friggin-
never fire Jason Garrett.
They
They
should.
Suck up. Goddamn Jerry Jones sucks his dick on it.
Oh wow.
Hey,
PG.
Except
Oh
my
my
little bird from
gosh.
Ashes.
Sorry, I get a little irritated when people talk about Jason Garrett.
Okay.
Redskins.
Colts.
I think Colts.
Big tits. Let's go.
I am also going
Oh,
Colts.
man.
I think Andrew Luck really good last week despite losing. I think this time around they get the dub. Redskins, for some reason they just perform really well on the West Coast. It makes no sense. They just go to the West Coast and they just play spectacularly. They did it last year against the Rams. They did it against the Seahawks last year.
Wanna be in the real Washington.
It's kind of weird, but back at home, I think they
To be
take
fair,
the
I don't even
L.
remember who they beat last week.
Cardinals.
Oh, Cardinals. Yeah, it's the Cardinals. They're not even a good team.
Shane.
I'm agreeing with Fisher.
Oh, you're going Redskins.
Oh.
Adrian Peterson looks like he was a few years ago when he was healthy, going off and actually running down
A
throats.
lot of years ago.
Alex Smith looks like he's been always Alex Smith, getting the ball moving, being actually an efficient quarterback. I believe that then continues this week. Even though Andrew Luck did have a good game, like me and Brandon predicted, but it was not good enough to win. I think it's going to be another good game for him, but I still don't think he has enough talent around him, especially the offensive line, to protect him to win this game.
All right. So with that said, we are going to move on to, I believe, Dolphins at Jets.
Steelers and Chiefs.
Oh, Steelers and Chiefs. All right, Chiefs at the Steelers. Fisher, make your pick.
I really wanted to go Steelers on this, but they couldn't beat the Browns. I mean, come on. I'm gonna have to go Chiefs.
Hell, the Chargers could.
You know, Ben's not looking good. It's just not looking good this year. I thought it was gonna look good this year, but honestly, it's not looking good. So I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to destroy them. I think Patrick Mahomes is going to flex his gun and show them that he's the real deal. I mean, he did last week, but I think he's going to show, like, legit, like, that he's legit. Just because, I mean, the Steelers don't have Lev Bell, but he's a diva. Who cares? And they might not have Big Ben, and they don't have David DeCastro, right?
Yeah, he plays.
They released Landry Jones, man.
Oh,
that
wow.
was their future.
Yeah, you're right.
I would take a pile of shit than him.
Oh, man.
PG!
Hey, I say shit and ass all the time.
Okay, well, while Shane's there with his shitty ass,
Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers. Not to be a homer, but
You are
They-
being Hoggy right now.
Eagles, every day.
Eagles 17
Steelers tend to bounce
I
back
picked
after.
the Eagles.
Roethlisberger usually bounces back after a really sloppy performance. I think they bounce back here. They did it last year. They had a sloppy performance against the Jaguars and then bounced back against the Chiefs. Also, home opener.
And
They're
another-
usually good home opener. I think Steelers actually get a surprising win. It's going to be a high-scoring game, though.
I was debating about this, and I'm picking the Steelers, but for right now, I might switch it of the day of the game.
Yeah.
But depending on Ben, if he plays. But I have to go with the Steelers on this one. It is the home opener. Steelers play better at home statistically. We hope Ben is not on the decline. Let's be honest. The way he was throwing the ball, 2 of those were his mistake. 1 was not. But it looked like he's starting on his decline of maybe he should retire right now. But I'm going to pick the Steelers right now just based off overall running back with Connor and how everyone else has been playing.
All right. Nico.
PG!
I'm going to take the Chiefs on this one. The Chiefs always start out really hot.
That is true.
Every single
They
year.
do start off hot.
It's not week 6 yet, week 7 yet, so they're not going to lose. Plain and simple, they've been going 5-0 the past 3 seasons.
And then Andy Reid's just like, I'm not going to
And then Andy Reid says, I don't want to play anymore. So.
All right, now we move on to the Dolphins at the Jets. I believe Daniel.
Jets, Jets. Sam Darnold is legit. I didn't think it before, but now after this past week, he's legit. They're going to cream him.
To be fair, they played the Lions.
You love
Matthew Stafford's the
Dude.
highest paid
Well,
quarterback in the league.
But now they're playing the
I mean,
Dolphins, and the Dolphins are
He just was
just
last
as, if not less,
Stafford was.
mediocre. I'm taking the Jets.
Was.
mediocre.
Aaron Rodgers is
Mediocre.
now.
Kirk Cousins is paid more than him.
Shane?
Jets. Jets proved it last night.
I'm going to go
Tuesday,
with the Jets because Ryan Tannehill has always been garbage to me. Even if he got hurt, that was unfortunate. But if they play Matt Moore, maybe.
I don't even know if he's on the team.
And I don't think so. But,
Alright.
yep, Jets, Jets.
Fisher?
Jets.
All right.
Plain and simple. Game.
Well, now we're going to move on to the Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
You said Eagles.
Which player won you?
I'm going to go Eagles. Tampa did look impressive. Ryan Fitzpatrick, whenever he has something to prove, he just goes out there and plays. Like, if he needs a starting job, he'll go out there and play really well. If he needs the money, he'll go out there and play really well. And I think he'll play decent this week, but I think the Eagles are going to be a lot more on track. They're going to be a lot more focused, and they're going to be a lot tougher to beat. I think the Eagles get the win here.
The Buccaneers will win this one. Fitzpatrick has been proven that every year when, like you just said, he has
Fitzmagic.
to play starter, he
Fitzmagic.
balls out.
It's
When
true.
he has to play, especially with the starting quarterback, who, let's be honest, is probably going to get fired by week 5. He's going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the year. He's legitimately one of the best
But that's
come off the bench quarterbacks or starting quarterbacks, and he's the highest IQ quarterback statistically to the Wonderlic test.
He went to Harvard.
I think he wins this one very close. It's not going to be as big as people think it is going to be.
Nico.
See, the Bucks scare me, but the Eagles also scare me.
The Eagles scare me more.
Nick Foles, what are you doing? Play like you're the Super Bowl MVP. Come on. I'm taking the Eagles.
He played fairly well against Atlanta.
He
He
did
struggled early,
He
but
plays better-
towards the end, he got the job
Let's
done.
stop trying to run the Philly special. You did it once. You did it twice.
It technically wasn't the
Twice.
Philly
Not gonna
special though.
It was
It was the
That's
same
like-
play.
It was-
It just wasn't a touchdown.
Not exactly.
It was the Philly this time. That's what it was called.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
don't worry, it'll be Philly. Oh,
Okay,
man, Philly.
Fisher,
Bucks.
Bucks.
Yep.
Plain and simple.
It's 'cause he's
but
a
Fitz-
fucking
but
Cowboys.
Fitz-
Daniel.
I'm an Eagles fan, so of course I'm gonna pick the Eagles. Hashtag Haggy. But no, legitly though, I'm picking the Eagles just because like the Buccaneers may not be without Vernon Hargraves, one of the best cornerbacks, and they also might not be without Deshaun Jackson, which was
I think he's playing.
Fitzmagic's
Two touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Yeah, like
But they
he
do
was
have
his
Mike
guy.
Evans. They do have OJ Howard.
But
Oh, the team's so good.
I think the Eagles
They
are
don't
also
have a
playing with a chip on their shoulder. Because, I mean, Nick Foles, like he was saying, play like you did when you were in the MVP, but he plays better under pressure. You know what I mean? So, like, right now he's just kind of chilling. You know, like he doesn't have to worry about anything. Because when Carson Wentz comes back, then that's when the pressure's coming. You know what I mean? So, like, I think the
That's
Eagles
why
are
he's
going to
not
win.
playing good, because there's no pressure.
Exactly. But I think the Eagles are the better team. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to, what's the word?
Struggle.
Yeah, struggle. Thanks.
All right.
So.
We move on to the Lions at the 49ers. Shane DeVoe.
I'm going to go with the 49ers on this one.
49ers.
I think the 49ers have bounced back. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to do what he did last year when he was 5-0. Now he's now 5-1 as a starter. But I think he's going to bounce back. With Matt Stafford, we don't know if he's out. I hope to God he's out for this game. But I want Jimmy Garoppolo to do well and prove that the new Kyle Shanahan offense in his second year could be what it was for Atlanta in the second year.
All right. Nico.
I'm going to agree with Shane here. I'm going to go with the Niners. Plain and simple, Jimmy G is going to bounce back. He is the next Tom Brady. So,
Just checking.
except he's not going to win 5 Super Bowls.
He's going to
He'll win 1.
He's the Steve Young, except the Patriots decided to get rid of him instead of Montana, which is Brady. Fisher.
49ers.
49ers.
Yeah, 49ers. Done.
Daniel.
I think the Lions.
Lions.
I think the Lions. I think if Stafford plays, I think he bounces back. Yeah, I think the Lions.
I'm going Niners. I think Niners bounce back.
Yep.
All right. We move on to the
four.
Arizona Cardinals at the LA Rams. Nico.
Rams.
Probably the Super Bowl favorites at this point is going to be the Rams. They're going to put up the most points every single week.
I love it.
And
Remember when Cardinals used to be Super Bowl
Almost.
favorites?
Huh?
Remember when Cardinals used to be Super Bowl favorites?
Yeah, because I used to pick
Like
them.
2009.
If the Rams
Like
are
3
still
years ago.
healthy
Huh?
each and every week,
When they were in
they have
NFC
Todd
Championship.
Gurley, the offensive MVP last year, and then they have the killer defense, Aaron Donald. They added Ndamukong Suh. That defense, Marcus Peters, Akeem Talib, best two corners in the league, and who do the clowns that they're playing have? Nobody.
They got Patrick
Cardinals.
Peterson.
If the Cardinals cannot beat the Redskins, they can't beat the Rams.
They don't have-
Hands down.
They don't have offensive weapons.
Daniel.
I'm defending the Cardinals, but I'm taking the Rams. They're just better. There's nothing to say about it.
Rams are just too damn good. Rams. All right. Well, that was quick.
All right.
So what's our next game, Shane?
Raiders at the Broncos.
Oh boy. Fisher, you start this one.
No, I didn't see the game on Sunday.
It
Who
was,
won? On Monday. Who won the Raiders game?
Oh,
The
Rams. Raiders had a 13-10 lead at halftime, and then
Broncos.
Rams
Broncos.
came back 33-13. Broncos.
So who won the Broncos game?
Broncos.
Who'd they play?
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Twen-
Yeah, but it was close.
27-24.
It was close.
It was a close game. It was back and forth.
I'm gonna go Raiders.
Oh.
Because, I mean, the Seahawks are what they used to be, and the Broncos played them last week, and they don't have the defense like they used to. So I think
They
they're...
got Cam Chancellor back.
No, he's
The Seahawks.
he's retired.
The Seahawks?
Yeah.
No, you're thinking of Earl Thomas.
Oh, yeah, same thing.
So,
Same thing.
I mean, the Raiders, I think
Maybe, yeah.
John Gruden's going to get his
Yes, sir.
first win back as a coach. I think Derek Carr. Fuck David Carr. I hate that.
David's just retarded older
I don't
brother.
like that guy. He didn't. That's not his fault. Anyway, Derek Carr, I think he's gonna bounce back, and yeah, I think the Raiders are gonna win.
He's retarded and older.
He was born that way. Jeez, we're really pushing the limits here. I'm going Denver. John Gruden stuck in 2002 because, you know, that's the Raider way.
Yep, I get the reference. Yep.
Yeah, Gridiron Heights.
Yep.
Shane?
I'm going to have to go with the Broncos on this one. I know the Raiders are right now trying to bring back Martavis Bryant because they just brought him in for a meeting. They might be trying to bring him back now because they realize maybe we shouldn't cut a guy who could run straight routes on the freaking.
Yeah, let's bring back a guy who's probably going to be suspended this year.
And then probably smoke first. He'll be smoking
Yeah,
during
he
the game.
can't stay off the weed.
Yep. And so Stephen A. Smith.
Yep.
I'm going to pick the Broncos on this one.
Nico?
John Gruden, one of the best coaches of our generation. He's a good coach, but I still don't think he's going to beat the Broncos this week.
All right.
I do believe the Broncos will win.
All right, we now move on to what could be considered game of the week, the New England Patriots at the Jacksonville Jaguars, a rematch of the AFC Championship. I believe, Daniel, you'll start out this one.
I got my Jags. I like
Jags?
the Jags. I think Tom Brady's gonna decline starting this
been-
week.
Austin, I've been saying for the last 5 years it hasn't happened yet. So until I
Well,
see it.
I don't believe it until I see it.
Yeah, I think the Jaguars have a better defense, and in my opinion, defense wins games. So I think the Jags are gonna win this one.
I could go back and forth on this one. As of now, I have the Jags.
I'm gonna bring up something. you'll
Patriots tend to drop one or two in September. This could be one of them. I feel like Jags defense might give them a little bit too much trouble.
like. Till I see it done, Patriots are gonna win this one. And
I don't blame
like you said, if defense wins championships, how come they didn't beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship game?
That's because their
Are you
offense is
asking me?
trash.
Yeah.
And heck,
It's just like the Falcons with the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
they
you know
got
what?
the lead, and then they were like, "We got it, we're fine." But then they don't realize Tom Brady's Tom Brady. He's gonna come back
Yep.
either way.
That's why
But-
Tom Brady wins.
It doesn't matter because the Birds won anyway. So
you know, I just remembered Fournette, I think, is questionable this game.
Fortnite.
So,
Patriots.
Leonard
That's what I thought
Fournette.
he said.
Yeah,
Oh,
Fournette.
Leonard
Like-
Fournette.
Not Fortnite.
Okay,
I don't know. Like I said, I'll go back and forth, but as of
Okay.
now, I'll take Jags.
we're gonna go with the greatest of all time in Tom Brady and that New England Patriots team. They're still the best. They're gonna be the best for this year in the AFC.
What do you mean, Blake Bortles?
Blake Bortles. If you're buying into Blake Bortles, don't
Is that stupid?
buy into that defense, but don't buy into that Blake Bortles. Jalen Ramsey said Gronk's trash. I'm like, Gronk scored how many touchdowns on you?
I love Jalen Ramsey though.
Yeah, but
I love him.
Jalen Ramsey couldn't even hold Odell this week. Even granted they lost, but Odell had 12 catches, his a career high for
And
him.
watch Jalen's
And
gonna
one
get targeted with Gronk, and Gronk's gonna put him on his ass.
Gronk's gonna put him on his ass. Plain and simple,
that's when
they're
they
too
get-
cocky. The Jags are too cocky.
They got Miles.
And they only
Jack.
scored 20 points on the Giants, and the Giants are an okay team.
Fisher?
Yeah, I'm gonna think that Jags are gonna come back from
As
last
an
year, and they're gonna play their heart out because I bet you they really want to kill the Patriots because of what happened last year. But I think the Jags are gonna.
Hey, shut up.
But if they're obsessed, like, because we see how the Steelers get obsessed over the Patriots and they lose every single time.
You're right.
And
Yeah.
they talk shit.
So maybe I don't know if Jacksonville will be the same way. Who knows? Maybe there might be just coached better. But
These two battling Chargers the next game.
oh, all right, we have Giants at the Cowboys Sunday Night Football. Again, finally, not week 1 this time, week 2. What a difference. This is another one I'm going back and forth on, honestly. You know what? As of now, I'm gonna take the Giants. As of now, might switch. As of now, I'm gonna take Giants.
I'm also going with the Giants. I just don't like. Again, it's only because of the fact that it's only Dak and Zeke, and Dak's proven that he can't win it by himself with just Zeke. He needs another weapon on that team. Jason Witten was the one. Now he's retired. Des Bryant was. He's now gone. And
He's
Michael
retired.
Beasley is.
Michael Beasley.
He's okay.
Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley, sorry.
He's not consistent.
He's okay, but I don't trust him to win the games for you. Eli, I trust. Odell, I trust. Barkley, if he could just ball out, I trust him. Giants.
All right. Nico.
Is this a question? I'm gonna get smacked. They're gonna get smacked. Barkley's gonna put up 400 yards. I'm kidding.
That'd be a record.
Yeah. No, I think the Giants win in a close one, 2017, 24-17 is close.
All right.
No, I don't have much hope, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel because there is a little bit of hope. But I think until we get our running game down, because Zeke did trash this past week. Dak looked awful. Our offensive line looked awful, and I think our D line's okay, but I don't know about the Giants O line. So we'll see how our defense does against them. I'm gonna go Cowboys. Cowboys, but it's
Daniel.
gonna be close, very close.
We only let up 2
Here.
sacks on the Jaguars, who had the
A
best
field goal wins
pass
it.
rush.
Field goal
in
wins
the
it.
league.
New kicker. Gonna put Dan Bailey to shame.
Yeah, the Maggie couldn't help you guys win that game last week. Just saying. What?
It wouldn't even matter anyway.
Nope. Oh, the Giants.
He
I hate both teams, but the Giants are the better team. Eli's going to come back. He's coming back to form. They got Odell, Sterling Shepard, Saquon Barkley, that defense, Landon Collins, Alec Ogletree, I think it's Damon Harrison Jr., something like that.
Snacks.
That, I think the Giants are going to be the toughest competitor for the Eagles, and I think they destroy the Cowboys this week.
You know what? I actually was thinking, like, now that I think about it, I think the Cowboys are actually going to still lose this game. So we now move on to the Monday Night Football game. We have the Seattle Seahawks at the Chicago Bears. We're going to go reverse. We're going to go reverse here.
I have to go.
So I am going to go with the Chicago Bears to get the win.
Duh, Bears.
I think they're the better team. Daniel?
Me? Oh,
Yep.
sorry.
We're going reverse order.
No, I'm going with the Bears too. I think Mitch Trubisky
Seattle.
is
In Chicago,
He's
though.
not great, but he's pretty good. And they have pieces around like Khalil Max there on that defense. Jordan Howard.
All right, let's
Allen
just skip all this.
Yeah.
Bears. Yeah.
All right.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Free Latino food, here we come. Free
All
Latino
right.
food, homes.
This video was sponsored by Free Latino Food at Harrisburg Area Community College.
job, sponsored.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Galaxy's Greatest Awesome Pepper, Fisher, Nico, Shane DeVoe,
Sponsored
and
by
Big
Smart
Old
One.
Daniel. And we'll see
Big
you
Old
guys
Daniel.
next time.
Big tits.